Bridgetown, when you're red and ready. It looked to me like when you're red and ready to roll with Mikey. Mikey for the city. What? Mikey for the city and the city for the BLP. I want to begin by recognizing Marva, Michael's sister. Sweetheart, raise your hand so everybody would be able to see you. There's a second one. What is your name, my dear? I can't hear. Sonia. Well, welcome, Sonia, as well. And a brother, too. Welcome, my friend. The whole family is here. Jerome, behave. Now, comrades, I must begin appropriately by recognizing my friend and comrade and brother forever. We gone, you ain't here no more, Corey. You went outside? But big respect to you, Corey, and thank you for your service to the city of Bridgetown, to the people of Barbados, and to the Barbados Labour Party. And comrades, it is a wonderful thing that we are doing tonight. And let me say to you that I know this man, Mikey Lashley, for a long, long time. I would have met Mikey, I think it would have been at University of the West Indies when I would have been doing my second degree. Man, putting me in trouble. No, it was UWI. I was doing my second degree. I was actually tutoring as well, and I believe Michael was in one of my tutorials. And then we went through the Faculty of Law and went on to Trinidad. I cooked food for that man. All the family members here tonight, I want to know when I sent Michael to Trinidad and Mikey could not cook. So
Lord!
I had to help look out for him. And Chief Magistrate, as he now is, Ian Weeks, another good man. And you know how it would have been back then, because we both had hair at that time. And we were, but we still are, 6 foot tall. And we were, I think, relatively athletic at that time, Mikey. I don't know if you still are. And, we were imbued with a common weakness, to tell you the truth. And because this is a night where a lot of people are out and I don't want to behave badly, I would suffice to say, Sandra, they're saying, please don't. I would suffice to say that it was a weakness for sweetness. So I know Mikey a long time, and I know that there would have been, I am asked to urge the driver of O2753 to recognize that someone needs to be able to get out, and you need to attend to your vehicle urgently, please. O2753, O2753. Oh, where was I? I can't remember. Sandra, tell me don't behave bad, but I was, pardon? Weakness for, oh Lord have mercy. You ain't letting that go in there. I was going to move past that. Because as you would appreciate young men and things, and not me, because in Trinidad, girls interfere with me. I, of course, would have to interfere back. That's expected. And I have good reason to believe that the same thing happened with Michael. And then when we came back to Barbados, there were one or two who could not decide if they wanted to interfere with Kerrie or interfere with Michael, so interfere with both.
Oh, Lord!
But comrades, I say all of that to say to you that I know this man well. And when Michael stands here and tell you that he is committing heart and soul to this cause, I believe Michael says so with heart and soul full of commitment to this cause, to fight forever on behalf of the Barbados Labour Party. And what we saw during the course of the last 48 hours, comrades, is something that is almost unimaginable. Because it was on Thursday night that Tyra, I saw Tyra in here. Where she is? Where is she? She's still in here? Tyra, and let me welcome you to the team BLP, Tyra, officially. Because we might have unfair you a little bit that you really didn't get in the big law speeches and things on your big night, but welcome to Team BLP, as we must also welcome Michael to Team BLP. And comrades, Tyra and Michael represent 2 generations of Democratic Labour Party politics. And they represent 2 of the most able and capable in each of the generation. And I want you to look upon the 2 of them and remember a man named Dr. Ronnie Yearwood. And Ronnie was a little stiff and a little awkward, but Ronnie is a fella with some skills. And you can't doubt that Tyra is a woman that got some skills. Tyra led the Young Democrats, so she would have had to be among the best that the Young Democrats had to offer. And you only go look in the newspaper any day of the week and see Mikey Lashley. Obviously, you heard him tonight. The man got some skills and an understanding of the legal system and the criminal justice system in Barbados. And think back to a woman named Tricia Watson. Tricia might be a little bit too arrogant, but Tricia got skills. You got to give Jack his jacket and Jill her jacket. That is a fact. And remember Undine Whitaker, a woman a little bit older, but Undine is a woman with skills. And I could go on, because as Mighty Sparrow said, 6,000 Frenchmen can be wrong. All of them so can be at fault, but they have one thing in common, comrades, and that is A-R-A-T. Ralph Anthony Thorne. I don't know why you all were spelling. I was giving you initials. And you know the arrogance of a man who would take an 85-year-old woman who put money out of her pocket to build the George Street Auditorium and slam a gate in her face and say she's not welcome to come in, not even to pass water. Tells you the contempt that he has for ordinary people in Barbados. And his lust for unrivaled power. And all this talk about autocracy and dictatorship and so on is to mesmerize you and confuse you and mama guy, as they were saying in Trinidad. Because if there's anybody who is dictatorial in Barbados, it is he. And comrades, I feel it is necessary for us to realize that we are at a stage where we have to be very, very clear. We got to protect and shield Barbados from that individual. And for people who feel that the way he's operate is the way Barbados needs to go. And these are dread times. These times are dreader than dread. And I say to you tonight, that if the best that the Democratic Labour Party had to offer come to us and say, we want to work with you, then in the interest of Barbados, we need to work with the best that the Democratic Labour Party had to offer. And if you doubt me that these times are dread, recognize that next week, the people in Antigua, the people in Dominica, and I hear also perhaps the people in Grenada, are going to be confronted with the reality that if you are a vendor and you want to go and get a little product, you want to go and buy some clothes, you want to be able to put yourself in a position where you can earn your living by going to get the product you're selling. Or if you are doing some hair braiding, you want to go and get the hair. Or if it is that you want to do anything to advance your little business, small business, as so many of us in the Caribbean have done, that to go to the United States of America, you now got to put down 15,000 United States dollars for a visa. And if you can't get that, don't come. The way in which the world we grew up in operated is no longer the world today. And let me get that straight. And if you still doubt me, remember what you see last night or should have seen last night and night before and the night before that, if you watch the TV coming out of that country. That land of the free and the home of the brave. Where on the streets of major cities, masked men shooting people in the face, picking you up and dragging you into a van and you disappear. And I want you to think of this. What about the society? What is the Barbados that we might be confronted with later this year? Folks, let me be real. The Barbados that we could be confronted with, or the Caribbean we could be confronted with. And I don't want the media to say that I call in the figure of people from Barbados who are up there and they make themselves proper. I am pulling random figures from the air. But you know that they got some Bajans up there that ain't put themselves right. And if 2,000 arrive one day or 1 week, where we gonna house them? If 2,000 arrive 1 week, what we doing now to assimilate them into this society? You understand the measure of the problem that is at your doorstep and the doorstep of countries 100 miles and 150 miles away from Barbados? In a closely knit set of islands in the Caribbean, the world is a different world, comrades. And then a fella in the Democratic Labour Party, not a fella running about like the pipers of Hamelin. And if you remember the story, blowing a flute enough rats. And not one single issue of this nature is being discussed by them. And it is a real challenge. And if you still doubt me, remember that 2 weeks ago, today is Saturday, it was 14 days ago that we wake up a morning and hear that JetBlue can't land in Barbados and get turned back by the Air Force. We hear American Airlines get turned back. You understand? Military planes telling the ordinary commercial planes that bringing in tourists. And immediately, the whole ecosystem of this country went into confusion because hotels that had people checking out, they had nobody coming in. And 1,000 people or 200, 300, 400 people at a time up at the airport, where am I to sleep tonight? And this party had to move with alacrity to find a way to fix a problem that we went sleep the night before and never imagined we would wake up and be confronted with, but we fixed it. And you feel anybody that led by Ralph Thorne or Ralph Thorne himself could have fixed it? Let me get real about what's coming down the pipe, my people. And all of that happening a couple miles away from us. That's the Barbados that we must now decide how it can get governed. That's the Barbados. And I say to you, this isn't a time to gamble with your destiny. We have proven hands in Mia Motley. We have proven, tested, and tried leadership in Mia Motley. Do not gamble with your future. Let me say that again. Do not gamble with your future. And if you have doubts, if you still have doubts, I want to tell you I know the man well. I live 7 houses away from Ralph Anthony Thorne. Yes, you may feel a little pain for me because my bill for the exterminator is large. But a year and a half ago, we hosted the Men's T20 World Cup. Michael Ashley, you had a constituency for years. If somebody tell you that they wanted to spend $5 million a year constituency, could you tell them no? Sandy Bradshaw, you are constituency. Anybody ever tell you the war spent $5 million a year constituency? Well, I can tell you something now. When it will go push me down, lock me down, tie me up, and half kill me. $5 million in St. James Central, I would go mad behind it. Okay. So, my friends, we had a situation where the man said no. And what did he say no to? That we want to do something for the vendors. That we want to refurbish kiosks that they're breaking down. Repaint kiosks to make them look good. That we want them a nicer Austin. Make it a fine entertainment center. And ladies and gentlemen, the man said no to helping small, poor black people. That is the level of contempt that is fair. When a man show you what he is, believe him. And tonight, my friends, I can't talk long. Yes, William reminds me that we asked him what the problem is. That the tent red, the benches got in red. That was the level of mulish ignorance that was visited on the people of Barbados and the constituency that he represents. Mulish ignorance. And I can't stop long because tonight is not about that, but we will have plenty of time to elaborate. I want to say to you that tonight is an important night because it starts. And if they had a bell, I would ask for it to ring the bell. Ring the bell. Because the Prime Minister come in and she need to hear that when I want to hear the bell ring. It makes sense keeping this country to a point where it is ungovernable. That a man that ain't ready, a man that ain't got an idea, a man that is only in this because he dislike personally the Prime Minister, a man that feel he should get put in a position that he wasn't put in, and I don't know any real man that does get vexed himself because a woman ain't put he in a position.
Oh Lord!
I want to tell you, City of Bridgetown, when I got a champion horse, back it to the hill, back the Barbados Labour Party, the Barbados Labour Party now, the Barbados Labour Party tomorrow, the Barbados Labour Party, my friends. Good night and God bless.